All right.
What up, everybody? This is Rob Brandt.
And this is Rick Brandt, and we are the Brothers Brandt.
Welcome back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Brothers Brandt podcast, episode 134 of the Brothers Brandt pod. We have a special episode here, Rick, talking about the Goo Goo Dolls.
Rob, this band is one of our all-time favorites. These guys have been rocking the stage for almost 40 years, which is hard to believe. The Goo Goo Dolls, Rob, we are going to go in depth with them. We're going to talk about the band. We're going to talk about our experiences with John and Robbie. Those guys know what they're doing up on stage, and boy, do we have a clue what we're doing in front of these microphones.
Not a damn clue. Not a damn clue what's going on here.
We're still going to have fun. We're going to bring all this action to the listeners here on episode 134 of the Brothers Brandt podcast. In our previous episode, we talked in episode 133 about OAR of a Revolution, who is our favorite band. And coincidentally, this summer in 2023, OAR is touring with the Goo Goo Dolls. What an unbelievable concert that will be.
Rick, it's really cool because I thought this year with OAR playing with Dispatch and G Love, that was just an epic combo, 1-2 punch. And now we got Goo Goo Dolls and OAR.
What was so cool, Rob, is this past year, you and I, we were hanging out in Dallas. You came to visit in Texas prior to the bachelor party, and we went and got a chance to check out Goo Goo Dolls live in concert. And I remember you,
dude, and Blue October opened up for him, and sleep on Blue October. Please sleep on Blue October. They say don't sleep, but I'm telling you to sleep on Blue October.
Yeah, you could show up halfway, and you just make sure you're there for the Goo Goo Dolls. You called me months after the show and said, Rob, this is Rob.
I said Rick.
And man, wow. Thanks so much for that show. That show was unbelievable. I always liked the Goo Goo Dolls, but man, I've been just jamming out to them the last couple months, and these guys rock.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I forgot how much I love them. Like, and
if
how
you
many
grew up in the 90s, you love the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah, and how many bangers they had. I used to play pickup soccer in this place called Good Sports, and it was 3-on-3, and it was one of my favorite things in childhood. We would go down to Wall, New Jersey, play at this place called Good Sports, and it was 3-on-3. It was like mini hockey. You played in like this little rink, probably about 20 yards long, and it was just like hockey. You could play it off the boards and all that, and they would just be jamming out to Goo Goo Dolls, Blink-182, Green Day, all the bands of the 90s. It was epic.
I mean, Rob, the
Third Eye Blind.
Exactly.
It was the soundtrack for every single like Friday that we played.
So these guys, they got started in the 80s, actually, believe it or not. Kind of an interesting story. They're from Buffalo, New York. And these guys were...
Talk about a hotbed of music talent in Buffalo, New York.
It actually is impressive. There's a lot of musicians from that area.
Are there actually? I was just messing with you.
No, a lot of good musicians have come from Western New York, and these
like
guys
who name
all you gotta do is Google it. You go out on the internet, you'll find anything you want to find. So Johnny and Robbie, these guys are high school friends. They knew each other through family and friends, but they were high schoolers together. And in the 1986 fall of 1986, these guys got together. They started playing together, and they were just doing covers. These guys weren't doing their own music. They were just playing covers. And they did that for many years. And people liked them. People loved these guys. There was a couple other band members that have since fallen off, some drummers, but Johnny and Robbie have been doing this, like I said at the beginning, almost 40 years now. And it wasn't until about 10 years after that they started that their first big mainstream song hit radios. It was their own song, and things just took off from there, Rob. That song is called Name.
Name. I don't recall that one.
Oh my gosh. Get the hell off this podcast. Listen to the song. It's phenomenal. And John talks about it. He talks about being in a grocery store in 1995 and just shopping, and all of a sudden on the radio, in the grocery store, over the speaker system, is his song. And he just had to take a deep breath and realize, wow, here we go. And there we went, Rob, the Goo Goo Dolls. They just launched, skyrocketed their career from then on out. They had hits like Iris, Slide, Black Balloon, Broadway, Come to Me, Let Love In. It just goes on and on and on. Literally dozens of hits, Rob. Unbelievable.
Yeah, they had like an album go like quadruple platinum or something.
They sure did. And what was so funny about that first song, Name, which took off in 1995, was it actually, first, some people considered it to be the song of the year in 95. And it led to guest appearances on Beverly Hills 90210 and the show Charmed. So these guys,
hold on.
It just became very popular. They were just on the scene from then on out, and an alternative rock band. I'm sure our listeners have jammed out to these guys before, but you got to check them out. They are great in concert.
Rick, I'm gonna play Named. I'm gonna
play it
for our listeners.
Play Name for the listeners. Give the people what they want. It's a little bit of a slower song, but then it picks up and it's really, really phenomenal. And you've listened to this song dozens of times.
Oh, man, this is it. Oh, geez. I feel like an idiot for not saying I don't know what name it was. Oh, my God.
Listen, you're not as big of a fan as I am. There you go, Rob. You don't have to play the whole song. People will get it. They understand.
We'll just wait for that one line to hit. We'll wait for that one line to hit. It's a good one.
Give me a little while.
The listeners will like it.
Letters that you never meant to send, lost or thrown away.
I just got the chills.
You should get the chills. It's the Goo Goo Dolls.
One, that's a shame.
You could hide beside me,
maybe for a while.
I won't tell no one your name.
See, there you go.
I won't tell him your name.
Now back to the podcast.
Wow, that was a good one. That was good.
Imagine hearing that on the radio, doing some grocery shopping.
Baby.
I'll tell you what, I was at the driving range the other day, and that came on, not my playlist, but the driving range's playlist. And let's just say I was deep down the range, right down the middle. It was phenomenal.
Send it in, big fella. Send
it
in.
Rob, the Goo Dolls are outstanding. We've seen these guys in concert countless times. I can't even remember how many times I've seen these guys now, but I remember a couple shows in particular. You and I, we went to PNC Bank Art Center in New Jersey.
New Jersey.
And these guys come there every single summer.
Every time. Yeah, I think they're going there this year too.
Yes, sir. And so we're there, and listen, what's cool about these guys, opposed to some other bands, like the OAR band we talked about in the last episode, is they always end their song, so their set, their show, their concert with one song, Crazy Game of Poker. With the Goo Goo Dolls, they've got so many different hits, and it's like you don't know which one's coming at you next, which one they're ending with. And I remember they played Black Balloon, and they just had hundreds of filled up helium black balloons dropping from the sky, from the rafters. We were in seats, and I just thought that was so cool. I love that.
Yeah, we went, and if I recall correctly, we went and it was Train that was the headline, but we went to go see Goo Goo Dolls to open.
Yeah, we even left after the Goo Goo Dolls were
we were
done.
we're like, F this, we're gone. we came, saw, conquered, got what we wanted, and that's how much we love them. And
There
we
was no
went there.
traffic either. We made it out before everybody else.
Yeah, yeah. But I remember one of my favorite lines that made me like the band so much. Was the lead singer was playing? I think was it Iris is their most famous, technically like their most famous one.
Iris is pretty up at there.
One of them, and he just made an announcement and he just said, at one point in every band's career, they want to be the best in the world, the absolute best in the world. And for a short moment in time, we were the best in the world, and this song got us there. And then he just went in.
That.
Oh, dude, it was so good. So good. And he just does such a good job.
He's outstanding at live in concert. You gotta check him out. He's interactive.
John does such a good job of like talking to the crowd. That was one Goo Goo Doll moment. And then the other one with you in Dallas was really cool. And I've seen them a couple times before, and you've seen them a couple times before. But in Dallas, like you and I went to Blue October, Goo Goo Dolls. And a lot of people, we were able to move around really easily. We bought seat tickets, but there was wide open seats in front of us. So we literally ended up going down to the third row and hanging out there for Broadway, Iris, like probably at least 10 songs. We were in the third row.
You can't beat it. You can't beat it. Now,
John was just having full dialogue with people.
Exactly. He is as engaged as a singer can be on stage. He's not intimidated. He's been doing this for decades. So
yeah,
the man gets comfortable up there.
And it totally did not go how he wanted it to go. He just like turned it into a big joke, and his improv skills are hard to beat.
They are. And I was just going to say and add one last thing, that not only is John very comfortable on stage, but Robby, who is the bassist and vocalist as well, he's always, he never has shoes on. He's always in socks or barefoot on stage. I've never seen that before out of anybody in the history of concerts. And for some reason he does it, and he feels comfortable up there, and God bless him.
God bless him. God bless
now,
him.
for me, Rob, I have to point out my favorite memory with these guys here. A friend of a friend, through a friend, I was able to get a chance to go to a Goo Goo Dolls concert at Count Basie Theater in Red Bank, New Jersey, a small venue. It's almost like hard to believe that they were performing at such a small venue. It's an old, iconic venue. It's probably no more than like 3,000 fans. So just to give you an idea of scale, very small.
Hey, we saw BB King there, bro.
Yeah, it's true. Growing up, we saw BB King, the legend, there. And fast forward a few decades, I got a chance to go and see the Goo Goo Dolls there. And we were at first row. We had tickets in the first row. And I was just so jazzed up. I was loving it. These guys were rocking out. And like I had the set list after the show. And during the concert, I remember John like came over and was like dishing out some high fives. And I came in with high heat, all the muscle I could bring. I was just so jazzed up. I rocked this dude's hand, and I kid you not, Rob, he stopped whatever he was saying or doing. He's like, bro, almost broke my hand. Like out loud so the whole venue could hear it.
You almost ended the show real quick for everybody.
Prior to the show, there was a meet and greet, and just such cool dudes, and they were backstage. You got a chance. They actually, fun fact about these guys, I think they're guitar like addicts, and like you've seen all these bands, they perform and they might switch out a guitar every couple songs, or just switch it up. Some guy in the back will run out a guitar, they'll swap it out for a different song to get a different sound maybe. And they actually have a guitar for every single song. It's wild, actually.
Yeah, now, I remember you pointing that out while we were in Dallas, and I just kept watching them change up every time they had a new song. They had a new guitar.
Yeah, you don't even really think about it because in sports, which this podcast is largely based around, there's sponsorship deals and there's all these different NLI stuff for the college kids now. But like touring bands are sponsored by all the like the drum companies, the guitar companies, and mic companies, you name it. So I mean, there's probably tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars of the highest quality guitars all there, just getting interchanged every single song. It's so cool. And what was neat about it was the manager at the time had like hooked this whole thing up for me. And then fast forward like a few weeks later, I get this like massive package in the mail. I had not expected anything whatsoever. Nobody told me anything. And this package arrives, Rob, and it's like 3 feet, 4 feet tall. It's like 2 or 3 feet wide. And I've got all of a sudden like this big frame deal there. It was just so freaking cool, Rob.
That's
so
awesome.
Freaking cool.
That's so epic, dude. Yeah, and I think you just reclaimed it from my house recently.
I sure did.
I was kind of hoping you left that. You left that here.
Yeah, I needed that. I mean, it has my name on it, so it'd be kind of weird if you put it up on the wall.
Wasn't it engraved? Like, isn't it engraved with your name?
It is. And the fact that
the
you
quadruple platinum album award. Man, that thing's so cool.
It really is. It's probably one of the coolest memorabilia things that we have. Like OAR and all the other athletes we've met over the years. We got a great picture with these guys here, and just such cool dudes. If you get a chance this summer, like we talked about, our previous podcast was about OAR. This summer, OAR and the Goo Goo Dolls together, united, traveling around, not just the country, but going overseas in a couple different countries. Should be pretty amazing, Rob.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's going to be really cool. I can't wait to see OAR and Goo Goo Dolls this summer someplace. I got to look at the schedule. Got to figure it out.
For all you listeners out there, maybe we'll catch you at a concert. I'm Rick Brandt.
And I'm Rob Brandt. We're the Brothers Brandt. Thanks for listening.